And now we've got our speaker now, and I'm not going to say much. I'm going to leave it to the imagination. But the next talk will be all about fighting online stress with AI.
Andrew, 17 years old. What? It's already 3 a.m. But that video looks so cool. I mean, one more video never hurt anybody, right? Just one more episode and I'll go to bed. Promise. A mantra I tell myself in the middle of the night while I'm stuck on Instagram or Netflix. Just one more video. And then the one turns into 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. And suddenly I regularly sleep 3 to 4 hours a day. I can't physically survive school without an energy drink. I'm barely able to pay attention. My grades are getting worse. I can't concentrate when I'm taking an exam. And yet, I still find myself laying in bed in the middle of the night, stuck in a loop of watching some random videos on the internet, again and again. Dave, 20 years old. I feel like crypto blew up just recently, and it has so much potential. In the beginning, I was a little bit confused when I read about all the special terms like blockchain, Bitcoin, and such, but now I think I really grasped the idea of it. Unfortunately, when I take part in the online forums, I feel like no one really cares about what I have to say. I come across a lot of people that see only the negative aspects of crypto. It has no future, all that money for nothing, haha, you really think you're gonna pay with Bitcoin in a store? I'm not sure how to stand up for myself. Lynn, 15 years old. The worst thing is that I know likes, follows, and views don't really matter. The reality isn't coated with glitters, perfect bodies, faces, and filters. Yet when I post something online, no one really interacts with it. No comments, just a few likes, if any. Even my friends get more attention. I know influencers are fake. I know, but my head still wonders, am I not beautiful enough? Not smart enough? Am I not interesting enough to be liked? Alex, 22 years old. I love to sing. I write my own songs, and people keep telling me to share them with the world. Alex, it's so good. Don't you want to put it on Spotify or something? I'm thinking about starting my own music career, but I'm not sure how. Maybe sharing on Instagram, recording some covers, launching my own songs. Yeah, that would be a dream. But how should I start? What am I supposed to do? I'm scared to open up. Luke, 18 years old. The algorithm began to recommend me some questionable videos of depressed people. Do you know, the so-called messy depression rooms, statements about how people are mentally unstable, and they even talk about ending their life. Now I feel like I'm too far gone into the rabbit hole of the depressive TikToks. I feel terrible. Natalia, 16 years old. Oh, he texted me again. I'm so full of this guy. He slid into my DMs, and since then he's been constantly texting me. I don't even know him. He's some random guy on the internet. There's something off about him. Paul, 13 years old. I'm really into science, especially astrophysics. I want to know more, but I'm kind of lost in the science debates online. I'm afraid to ask about things I don't understand. June, 24 years old. I would love to learn German, just a bit better, but I can't find any native speakers online that would want to talk to me. Laura, 15 years old. I began to post vlogs on my YouTube channel, but I get so much negative backlash and hate comments. I feel disgusted. Zach, 20 years old. Wants to find a job online, but isn't sure how to write his CV. Chris, 18 years old, has a problem finding travel buddies online. Josh, 16 years old. Victim of sexting when someone published his nudes. And me? Hi. My name is Emma and I'm 17 years old. Ever since I can remember, I was a happy kid. And I know it sounds like the old cliche stories, but I had loving family, many friends, good grades. You know the game. I was never really bothered about my body or the way I looked. I wasn't overweight. I think I was an average-looking child. But unfortunately, I think many of you will relate to me when I tell you that when I hit puberty in the teen era, things changed. I thought I wasn't skinny enough. And the intrusive thoughts won. I fell down the rabbit hole of chasing the perfect body, followed some fitness influencers, Googled tips about dieting, found out what calories were, and I think it went downhill from there. I was eating less and less. I was obsessed with the so-called healthy alternatives, and I think that's how orthorexia entered my life. It was months at this point when I was scrolling on YouTube and realized that every single video on my For You page was about food and weight loss. At that time, my mental state was terrible. I think I was maybe depressed at some point. I was constantly thinking about food. I was cold, had dry skin, lost my period. Yeah, I felt like my life had no meaning. But how could I get out of the internet rabbit hole when I was locked up by the algorithm in this food loop, being fed videos about body image issues? After some time, I stopped punishing my body. I understood that it grew over my head. It took me a while to recover, but unfortunately, I think till this day my relationship with food is far from perfect. But I changed. You may be thinking, wow, another girl with eating disorder. What's special about that? Well, nothing. I'm just another drop in the ocean of problems caused by the internet and social media. Now that I'm older, I tracked back to these rough years and thought to myself, what things I could have done better? Would my story happen differently if there was something or someone that could have gotten me out of the rabbit hole? And then, just recently, I came across something called AI.
Thank you much, Emma. The world has changed. You feel it in the water, you smell it in the air. And if you look back just 5 years, how your gadgets looked like, if you look 10 years back, how the social network back in the days looked like, if you look 20 years back, I don't know, I mean, when I was your age, I was the only kid in my class who had a mobile phone. And when I was 10 years old, we even didn't have a computer. And if you look 100 years old back, 500 years old back, you get the point. And now look at today. And now the point is that your human body, the body of Homo sapiens, didn't change at all. We're still the same people like we were 50 years ago, 100 years ago, 500 years ago. And so the world has changed, but our biological hardware did not. You can see now that you actually got some kind of superpowers already. You have them. You're much more adapted for the future world that is coming. You're much more adapted for it than anyone else. Much more adapted than I am. Because you've already coupled with the technology to such a degree that wherever I stop, you carry on. Wherever I stop, it's only there where you start. You just go on. Nobody from my generation is going to be that much coupled and that much adapted for the future world with AI. Nobody. So this is your big superpower. Your internal natural coupling with new technologies. But as it is always, like every superpower has its kryptonite. And your kryptonite is that this adaptation that I'm talking about, you run it on thousands years old hardware, on tens of thousands year old hardware. I mean, you've got the same hardware that a medieval peasant had, or the same hardware that hunter-gatherer had. But imagine the difference now. How is your cognition now overwhelmed? How comes that, on the same hardware, you can run the adaptation towards the technologies, that you extend your mind using social media, you extend your mind using artificial intelligence, but still on tens of thousands years old hardware, biological hardware. This causes a lot of trouble. You all know that, you all feel it, you feel it internally. It causes the online stress, permanent anxiety, loss of control, feelings of loss of control, feelings of helplessness, you name it. You just feel it internally, it's there. And the reason is this inner contradiction between you being adapted for the future world, but running this adaptation on your good old biological hardware. The point is, you can't change your biology. You just can't change who you are like biologically. Maybe on some superficial level, but deeply down there, you're still gonna be Homo sapiens. You're still gonna be this hyper-social monkey who was created 200,000 years ago in the middle of African savanna. And you don't want to be that much different. We want to be Homo sapiens. And you just can't disconnect forever, like once and for all from the online world. Maybe you can just, use like a dumb phone instead of smartphone for a month just to learn for the exams, but you cannot go on like this forever. Because why? Because we just, in order for our society to survive, we have to do the coupling with the technology. It's inevitable to couple with AI, because AI will be able to solve all our other problems. But so what's the solution? How to go on? Because we've got this big trouble here. Okay, so we already have some kind of superpowers, but most of the superheroes, they even are able to improve their superpowers by external pieces of technology. I mean, Batman suit, Iron Man suit, whatever, Black Panther, you name it. And so what if we just, let's leverage AI to give you such kind of superpower that will make you more adaptable, while you just couple with the future world of social media and future world of the online. And this is Elin AI. This is our little AI child. This is our passion project. This is something we've been working on last almost a year. It's your AI buddy for the online world, the one that will empower you, that will protect you, and that will help you learn who you actually are. So this is Elin AI, and quite coincidentally, you're probably the first lucky people in the world who have the opportunity to test it, because it means we're launching it today, actually. It was not available an hour ago, and it was not available yesterday. This is the moment where we're launching our little passion project, our little child. And you could be those who will help us grow Elin AI to the power that she deserves. Because look here, we're here. And look at me, I mean, I'm an aging millennial, almost Gen X. Do you seriously think I can create, a Gen Z AI, an AI that will be loved by Gen Z? Well, no way. I can do AI, my team can do AI, we can do lots of things. We can create AI seed from which Elin should grow much bigger to the full potential. This is what we need to do, but we cannot do it like behind the closed doors of our AI lab or wherever. For this, we just need the first pioneers, the first users who are like by mindset, who are innovators and very early adopters. The people who know and who like to start new things, play with AI that is kind of crappy sometimes, that maybe can say strange things, but sometimes it says really good things. Sometimes the app just crashes down. And you will interact with it, and you would be able to teach Elin what it takes, what it needs, what she needs to know, what she needs to be in order for you to be the true superpower that you need for better adaptation in the online world. So, I would like to invite you, those who are innovators and those who are very early adopters, join us here. Those who are like not so innovative or don't like applications that crash sometime, or they want to have like full-blown end version, wait a bit. Maybe your friends will just inform you. But I'd like to invite you to basically join our team of beta testers, of the first users, of the first pioneers who are able to teach and grow AI from the seed, like Emma has done.
I feel like our generation is constantly under pressure. Have good grades, graduate, go to university, find a job, don't be online, change the climatic crisis, support biodiversity, clean up oceans, save the planet. But on the other hand, you hear things like, this generation is so fragile. Anyway, those youngsters, snowflakes, they don't know what they're talking about. When I was your age, we did this and that and blah, blah, yeah. Yeah, maybe in the past you did this and that, but there was no internet, no social media. You didn't grow up with a phone in your hand, being self-aware, constantly comparing yourself to what you see online, not just in your neighborhood, not just at school, in your city, but in the whole world. And yet you'd find yourself being so alone. I have a strong feeling that Ellen could be the way. The online buddy you always wanted, needed, but never had. Ellen could help our generation both protect and empower the young, us, trying to navigate through life. It could be an opportunity to transform the world and slowly but surely make little changes for the better. This shouldn't sound like the motivational speech you usually hear on TEDx, but this should be a reality check, a potential solution to a growing problem of shifted mental health depending on online behavior. Ellen could help you to work on yourself, feel more confident and grounded, because you are the future. So, if you at any point resonated with Ellen's view on the current situation, help us. Make Ellen by the Gen Z, for the Gen Z. So, if you feel like it, you can scan this QR code, because we can't do this without you. Join us on our journey with Ellen AI, because this is just the beginning. Thank you.